Hey there, folks, out in Youth Ministry Land. Scott Wood again coming to you live. Well, it's live for me, from Salem, Oregon. This is High Five for Part-Timers. Okay, so in case you didn't know, my name is Scott Wood. I'm the youth pastor at Calvary Baptist Church. I'm also a custodian at Corbin College, Corbin University in Salem, Oregon. And what I've started to do is to do this video blog to help part-timers like me do some stuff that, or learn some stuff that maybe they don't have time to do, don't have time to read a book or something like that, but maybe you have time to listen to me babble for 5 minutes. Let's hope you do. So hopefully this will help you. This week I wanted to talk to you about 5 don'ts. I try not to live in don'ts. And hold on, Danny wants to say hi. Danny, you want to say hi?
Hi.
There you go. That's Danny. So I don't like to be a negative so much, but I think it's okay to talk about this in a negative way so that you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so let's talk about 5 don'ts. Number 1, my notes are over here. Don't compare. It's really easy for youth pastors to want to compare themselves to other youth ministries. Oh, that youth ministry has a dancing llama. Oh, that youth ministry is bringing in 500 different kids. Don't compare. Don't do it. Because what you're doing is you're doing disservice to what God has called you to do, and you're doing disservice to your church and your organization. Do the best that you can do. That's all you can do. Do what God has made you to do, and do it the best you can. Okay? And if that is dancing llamas, then have the best dang dancing llama ministry out there. If that is doing like the homeless feed, then do the best homeless feed you can do. But whatever it is that God's calling you to do it, and do it as if you're doing it to the Lord. Okay? But don't compare. No. Don't compare. Number 1. Number 2, don't get stuck in can'ts. It's really easy. It's really easy as a part-timer to get stuck in the things that we can't do, because there's so many things we can't do. We want to go on a mission trip. We want to plan a summer camp. We want to do this, that, and the other thing. The dancing llama thing comes back to mind. I don't know why. But we can't do those things. So we can't get stuck in those can't things. You know, imagine if you're in a 4-wheel drive and you're going, you're bouncing around and stuff, and you get stuck in a rut. A can't is a rut in the road. You don't get stuck in those. Okay? Go past them. Okay, I can't take a group of kids on a mission trip this summer, but I can go down to a homeless mission. I can go rake someone's yard. I can go do something else. Whatever it is, focus on what you can do and not what you can't. Okay? The can'ts will kill you, but the cans will prosper you. Alright? That's free. So number 1, don't compare. Number 2, don't get stuck in the can'ts. Number 3, don't believe them. And when I say them, I mean the people. And when I say don't believe them, I mean your critics as well as your fans. When I was at Bethany University back in 1998, Jimmy Brewer, who is a phenomenal teacher, used to say, don't believe your own press releases. Don't believe them. Don't work as if you're working for people. If people are upset with what you're doing, get used to it. You're called by God to preach the gospel. You're called by God to reach out to young people. You're going to piss people off. Get used to it, okay? But don't believe them. Don't believe your critics. Don't believe your fans. Just accept it and move on. And if God is trying to do something in you, then when you get a critic saying, hey, I don't like it when you do X, Y, and Z, smile, say thank you, and then go off and pray about it. God, do you want me to do X, Y, and Z? And He'll tell you. Okay, so, I mean, God works through people, but I just don't want you to take on either the negative or the positive baggage that comes from people telling you, oh, you're so great, I love it when you talk about this, or, man, I hate you, and you smell like a dancing llama. Don't believe them, okay? So number 1, don't get stuck in can'ts. Number 2, number 1, don't compare. Number 2, don't get stuck in can'ts. Number 3, don't believe them. Number 4, don't be afraid to try something new. This is a rule for ministry in general. Don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it, because you're going to do it. Don't be afraid to try something new. A lot of times it'll take failing over and over and over again until you find something great. And that one thing is worth 100 failures. Okay? That one thing will do something for your ministry that those 100 failures, you know, are just part of. And Dan really wants to be in the video. There's sad. Okay, so don't be afraid to try something new. Just don't do it. It'll be awesome, okay? And if it's not awesome, it'll still be awesome. Awesome doesn't necessarily mean good. Awesome could be catastrophic. It'll still be awesome. Don't be afraid to try something new. Okay, number 1, don't compare. Number 2, don't get stuck in can'ts. Number 3, don't believe them. Number 4, don't be afraid to try something new. And number 5, don't forget Jesus. Don't forget Jesus and what you're doing, man. And I don't just mean like don't forget to talk about Jesus. I mean don't be all like, God, I'm going to go do this, that, that, and the other thing, all for you, see you later, and not ever talk to him once. Our job as part-timers, as youth pastors, as worship people, as whatever we're doing, our job is to be an example to the congregation, to the people around us, to the sheep that we're shepherding. Don't forget Jesus and what you're doing, okay? It's huge, okay, not to forget Jesus and what you're doing. We need to keep him first. The same thing you're telling your kids to do, you need to do yourself. If you are telling your kids to be in the Word and be in prayer every day, then you better darn well be sure that you're doing that every day. Okay? Alright, so don't compare, don't get stuck in can'ts, don't believe them, don't be afraid to try something new, and don't forget Jesus. One last thing, I want to say one more thing about the don't believe them thing. When I started where I'm at, there was a lot of people that were like, oh, we've been waiting for you. Oh, I can't believe you're here. And then there were a lot of people like, man, I hate you just because you exist. If I took on, and I did, I tried to take on a lot of people's baggage. If I took on everyone's baggage, it would have been gnarly. It was gnarly enough. I remember I was at a meeting. This is where I'm going to end it. I was at a meeting, and it was gnarly. It was a bad meeting. There was yelling and screaming around me. It was like I was in a foxhole in a war or something like that. And I was just like sitting there going, yep, that's me. I'm here to stir the pot. And God very clearly said to me, you're not here to stir the pot, Scott. You're the stick that I'm going to use to stir the pot. Sticks don't have emotions. So don't get all caught up in your emotions because you're a stick. Jesus loves you. I'm so happy that you guys are here with me. And I'll see you all next week, okay? Bye-bye.